In the South Pacific Ocean, thousands of miles away from any major landmass, lies French Polynesia. Spread throughout 1,240 miles, the country comprises of a chain of 118 islands and atolls. Among these clustered dots in the ocean is Makatea, a raised coral island in the northwest sector of the Tuamotu archipelago.
It is unique because it's an uplifted island formed entirely out of coral. Tectonic activity millions of years ago has risen Makatea higher than the other atolls, which are typically no more than 5 meters high.
Makatea is a beautiful atoll surrounded by spectacular cliffs rising to a plateau of 80 meters above sea level. It has breathtaking views in every direction. It's hard to comprehend that places like this still exist on Earth today.
So we are in Makatea, which is absolutely incredible, and the supply ship has also arrived, and the guys are busy taking stuff offshore and bringing it back out to the ship. They've also been taking stuff from the ship ashore, so a busy day for these guys, and they go into this rather dangerous looking little harbour, and they always seem to do it quite expertly without an issue, but I certainly wouldn't want to take my car in there. But in they go, and there are a lot of locals on the dock there, obviously here to pick up goods that they've ordered from Tahiti. But if you are anywhere near this place, you seriously need to come here. The coral is exceptional. You know, it's so flat today, you can just cruise along in the dinghy and enjoy all the coral below you. It's really quite beautiful, but you cannot anchor here. The depth is in excess of 50 meters. You can see the coral as you get closer to the shoreline, but you can't drop your anchor on this coral. You know, that's obviously not the right thing to do, and to damage the coral, and it all looks like it's in pristine condition.
Today we are going on a tour of the island with Ruben as our guide. We hope to learn more about this island's interesting past.
We pile into Ruben's pickup and drive up the steep hill to the top of the plateau.
We pass a mix of forest and industrial ruins, where the large rusted machines stand like sculptures in a tropical garden.
1917, yes.
Soon we reach the ruins of the old mining company town. In its day, it would have buzzed with activity when the island's population was just over 3,000 in the 1960s.
This is the butchery. You were looking for this?
It had electricity, running water, a bar, and even tennis courts.
We find an old butchery, laundry, and the remains of a brick oven used to bake bread at the bakery.
Driving on, we see how the ruins of an old town blend into the modern one. It has the mayor's office, museum, a primary school, some family homes, churches, and a solar power plant.
On the far side of the village, we reach what's known as the extraction zone. Next to the road, we can see holes stretching out for as far as the eye can see.
The mining produced hundreds, if not thousands, of hand-dug holes across the upper plateau of Makatea.
Each cylindrical hole is about 2.4 meters in diameter and 15 to 23 meters in depth.
On over 900 hectares of land, 11 million tons of phosphate-rich sand was dug by hand out of naturally occurring limestone cylinders.
Ruben knew we loved pamplemousse, so every time we found a tree we stopped for a pamplemousse break.
Still, or was it a bit sour? Pardon? Like the normal ones, or?
Just a bit sour. Miners worked with nothing but shovels, wheelbarrows and buckets. One man was lowered into the hole, he filled buckets with sand and his teammates hauled them back up and wheeled them away.
Phosphate was a key ingredient for fertilizers, munitions, and pharmaceuticals, and global demand began to rise in the 19th century with the growth of modern agriculture.
There was no remediation when the mining ended, so the empty tubes of rock remained, leaving the island with over 1 million holes.
We drive onto the most incredible viewpoint.
What a view! Good shot.
There is a small tourism industry here, including some rustic pensions which are set up for the growing rock climbing enterprise. We also see evidence of the agricultural initiatives along the road: beehives, vanilla plants and dried coconut, which can be sold for its oil.
We drive down to the beach so we could see from the viewpoint above.
The scenery on this beach is simply incredible.
Look at all these little hermit crabs on this plant here. There are hundreds of them hanging on here. You have to wonder why they're doing that. And the ground is actually, like Claire said, when you start looking, the ground is just moving with these things everywhere. They're all on the go, all different sizes, tiny little creatures to bigger ones. And then there's this little roots sort of sticking out of the ground here, and there's 3 hanging on this stick. I have to wonder why they're doing that. Okay, they're all waking up over here. There's a huge big cave up there. Be a nice place to get the drone into if you can, but you know, I guess there might be some bats in there and so forth which you could disturb, or birds, and then it's goodbye drone.
Is that one finished? Thank you. Palm hearts, yum.
Is this palm heart?
Where's more? I need more.
Have you tasted it?
But I thought it was inside the coconut.
No, that's the palm hearts. That's what I was telling you. It's the new leaves. It's of the new baby coconut.
This isn't what I'm talking about.
Which is like a lemon, but it's not a lemon.
And we're using it for showering, and you can also use it for cooking.
Well, you use the skin for cooking. It's like lemon zest, and then you use the thing for shampoo.
Makatea has an abundance of fresh water, which is extremely rare in the low-lying atolls of the Tuamotus.
We went to go explore and swim in one of the many freshwater caves. The water in these caves is fresh rainwater, which never sees the sun. It was very strange to swim in water that was not warm and salty, which is what we are used to now.
This is the perfect temperature as well. Nice and refreshing after something like that.
The rock formations under the water are beautiful to see and fun to swim around. Some went a little deeper than others.
Okay, Blynn, look at me, look at me. Cool.
What is it? It's like a rock, right, like an anthill.
Reuben led us through some tiny little gaps, which then opened up into beautiful large caves.
We were all feeling hungry, so it was time to head back to Reuben's to eat the coconut crabs we found the night before.
Wow.
That looks amazing.
This is not water, this is them.
Don't pee, little guy.
Man, this is the feast.
It's a spread of notes, eh?
That's where you want lemonade? Shrimp and not drink? Oh wow.
It looks delicious. This is the Tahitian. That is lemon.
Away it goes, bang!
Lift it up now.
Come on, Martha.
I'm taking okay, let's
Maybe we start.
we have to start.
Oh. Yeah, there's juice coming out.
Coconut bread. Okay.
Thank you.
Just hard to eat.
Yum.
Man, the crab is so nice.
And how's the bread? Very good. Cooked in the coconut, you think?
Yeah, it is.
After a huge and delicious lunch, we went back to the boat and the boys and I went off to explore the nearby fad. A fad is a fish aggregation device. Fads are man-made, usually wooden floating structures with hanging nets to attract fish.
It wasn't in the place it was marked on the chart, so we gave up and went for an evening snorkel off the amazing reef instead.
Makatea hopes to use climbing, diving and other forms of ecotourism to grow and rebuild its community with a sustainable focus. We really hope this takes off, rather than the proposal by the Australian company to come and extract the remaining phosphate from the island.
The Australian mining company's plan is to work within the old extraction zone, removing the small amount of remaining phosphate sand, as well as a thin layer of rock itself. To achieve this, miners would need to break the rock down, something the previous mining company never did, effectively lowering the area by several meters. In theory, the resulting gravel could then fill some of the notorious holes. The machinery, dust and infrastructure this would need would in our eyes devastate this incredible place. And in 20 years' time, with all the phosphate gone, Makatea would be left to its own devices yet again.
The proponents call it rehabilitation, the opponents call it disaster. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel.